This is something I bought recently. I don't know how to use this, like how to get the most proper eyeshadow. I'm not great at it, but I'm trying. And yeah, so I'm just gonna test it today, see which eyeshadow I can wear on like a daily basis. And yeah, while I chat with you guys at the same time. So I hope I'm audible. If I need earphones, I might use that. Hello. Yeah. Please subscribe if you're here. I'm just trying out something new, um, just to see if that works. Yeah. So this is my also my go-to lip balm. It's Pop Sugar lip balm. I use this. I have bought this multiple times, and yeah, and this the shade I use is plum. Yeah, I love this. As you can see, it's very pigmented. I use this as a lip, almost like a lip tint. And nowadays, people are selling you lip tint. You don't really need those. Okay, you can really use your blush as a lip tint as well. I don't know. It's not showing up on the camera. Now it does. Yeah. So I use it as a as a blush almost, and it gives a very subtle, almost like you haven't done anything kind of look. So yeah, so I do this. See, can you see? I'm not sure if you can see that, but yeah, it's I really like it. And what I'm trying today is if, like, to see if I'll be able to pull, like, I have four eyeshadow palettes actually, uh, and this is like a very basic one. This was my first one. This was from I Estee. What brand is this? Swiss Beauty, a very cheap brand, because I knew that I'm not gonna. I actually bought this for a family function, and I knew that I won't use it for a very long time. By the way, you guys can ask questions. I'm open to answering them. I just want to know what kind of audience I have on your. I just want to know that, and I want to create content for the correct audience, and mostly for my girls out there. I want to create content for my girls, because we all know that how men tend to behave online, offline, everywhere in the world. This is for my girls, and I hope I'm audible enough. If I'm not audible, I can get my earphones out and I can connect those. If I'm not audible, you can let me know that I'm not audible enough, and I'll use my earphones. Yeah, so let's try. So this is the basic eyeshadow palette from Mars. This I use usually, that, and it really looks good. Okay, I will show you this first, how I do this. And this I know very well how to use. This is almost like a paint palette, and I paint a lot, and I now want to branch out when it comes to makeup as well. Like, I want to get creative with my makeup as well, because I've seen girlies out there, okay, who do brilliant makeup. Like, they do the eyeshadows that they are doing. I mean, it's like almost using your face as a canvas. So yeah, I just want to see if I'm audible enough. Let's check that. So yeah, I just want to see. Okay, yeah, I'm audible. I just tested on this, on my tab that I have right here. I checked whether I'm audible enough, and I am audible enough. This is enough. I don't want to be, like, I don't need earphones. So yeah, let's start. I'll show you how I generally do my eyeshadow, because I don't want you guys to think that I don't know how to use eyeshadow, because this palette is a bit difficult for me. So I'll show you how to do a easy peasy eyeshadow for um, people who don't know makeup and who don't want to learn makeup. And yeah, still you want to do it every now and then. You don't want to learn those extravagant things. You can just stick with this. And as you can see how dusty crusty it is and how used it is. So I have used this. So yeah, let's do that. I This is a very basic this thing. You can ask me questions. I'm ready to connect. And I wanted to do a chatty video. Yeah. Anyways, let's do it. Chatty video. Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna need to use this. Let's try. I generally use this. All my brown skin girlies who who you might already know this. Fit Me Maybelline has a lot of shades. The shade that goes with my skin tone is 220. I use this regularly. I also use one more product. I have been using this for years. This is Lotus Makeup Foundation Stick in the shade Creamy Peach. I use these two very close to my shade, like very close to my face. What do you call it? Skin tone. It's very close to my skin tone. So yeah, I have been using this and this. So let's do it. Let's get going. Should I do a side bun to make my life easy? What should I do? It's okay. Let's get going. So the amount that I take is this much. Only this much. I take a very small amount of this thing. Earlier I never I this is also a lot. And what is very important for me is a moisturizer. Very important for me is a moisturizer than anything else. This will help me stay. Anyways, I have to step out in a couple of hours, so I thought I'll come here and my makeup with you guys, chat with you guys, get to know my online community. That's the plan. And I'll take a little bit. Actually, I'll also go in with sunscreen, but I'm not stepping out in the sun immediately, and I have to reapply it every 2 hours. So I'm not gonna waste the product. So I'm just gonna go with the moisturizer and then this amount of foundation. Yeah. First thing, I'll take a little bit more. Let's take a little bit more. Can you see? And you just do this. Surprisingly, there's no one commenting. Otherwise, I always have people commenting. Can you see the difference? Can you see the difference? Like, you don't need a lot of product. I can see the difference. Like, there's a very subtle difference, and I don't need anything more than that. One more step, if you want, you can do it. I necessarily don't do it actually, but you can do it This is Inside's Pro Concealer Palette. I just put a little bit, a tiniest, tiniest bit under my eyes. And then what I do is I'll actually can you see my dark circles? Can you see them? They are concealed. They're gone. That's all I do. Now we need to go in with the eyeshadow thingy. So let's try. Now the way I do my eyeshadow is not something everybody should do, but I do it this way. I'll take this color, the red color. Let me think about it. How do I do it usually? Yeah, let's go in with the red. Actually, let's see. I don't have a mirror in front of me. Hang on a minute. Hang on. Look at this. How beautiful is this? Now I have a mirror in front of me. So I can do my eyeshadow. Yeah, let's do it. Where is the palette? Here is the palette. Now let's try. I really am not able to recall how do I do it. Let's just go with it. Can you see? I love how pigmented this is. I will create. Okay, let's add a little bit of light in here. I hope it doesn't make me blind. Okay, here we go. Now it's a little bit more visible. So I am putting the red eyeshadow that's right here, putting it here. Okay, I'm covering half of my lid with it. And I'm using my thumb, okay, because those are the best tools you got. And imagine if I'm controlling my fingers, like if I'm controlling a brush with my fingers, then so I can control my fingers more than I can control the brush, right? Because that is coming in the way of me doing it. Actually, I should have done this step later. What are you guys into, like? What has been your current obsession? Like, my current obsession has been eyeshadows when it comes to makeup. When it comes to shows, it has been that dinosaur documentary that's out there. Um, and then when it comes to sports, it's been Formula One. Like any other basic girly, I like Formula One. And now I'm doing this gold that's right here. I'm adding that. Can you see? Can you see? There is an element where you wipe it off. You have to wipe it off. Can you see? Now we have to mix both of them. How do you do that? First you clean your brushes that are your fingertips, and then I want to add like a darker shade right here. So I'm gonna go with this. I'm gonna go with this and see if that works. Okay, here you go. Then I want to add like a darker shade. So I'm gonna add this right here. See if that shows up. It's not showing up. Then I am going it with a much darker this thing. Can you see? Now I'm gonna try to add it here. see if that works. Just so what I've learned is when you do eyeshadow, you start with a with the shade that you want, or like a lighter shade from here, and then you add a darker shade here, and the most shiniest shade that you have, you will add that on on this part, the bulge, where the bulge is, where the bulge of your eye is. You will add the most shiniest pigment there. Okay, so this is the most shiniest this thing that I have. I'm gonna add it. Okay, I need to clean my fingertips first. So I will add that right here. I will add that right here. Okay, can you see the kind of difference it's making? Okay, so that's it for the this thing. Then if you want to make sure that it mixes well, you just do this. You take a little bit of the first shade that you have taken and try to bring that in so that it seems seamless. Actually, it doesn't have to look seamless, but if you are all natural kind of girly and you want it to seem like that, then you can. I'm just looking in the mirror right now and trying to make it. See, this is it. And what is the most important part is the most important part about this thing is to try and add this darker shade as much as you can. I did my best. Then this, what is most important is you add the whatever color you have added to your eye, this thing eyelid, it has to come out right here. It has to come out here. That is what will make it look natural. Oof, it's too hot in here. Let me clean you up a little bit. Is that better? Is that better? This is not working at all. The glare that is directly coming. Okay, now let's do the lips. So I'm currently obsessed with Formula 1 when it comes to this thing. I'm obsessed with eyeshadows when it comes to makeup, and when it comes to series, I'm watching this K-drama that's called The Perfect Crown. Perfect Crown. Perfect Crown is the K-drama that I'm watching. Very nice K-drama, though I would have loved it if they would have I would have loved it if, I don't know, there's the chemistry between the leads is what drives me to see anything, rom-comish. And they have good chemistry. Don't get me wrong. Um, but I don't know. I after it really has to be a really good drama for me to keep watching nowadays. Like I can see the plot from miles away. I see the plot coming. I know what is going to happen, what exactly is going to happen in almost every series. In almost every series, I know what is going to happen. So for me to stay till the end is a bit difficult these days. It has to be a really good drama for me to stay. Um, so yeah, I don't know what light should I bring it a little bit closer. Is this better? Looks better on my camera, but when I'm looking the feed, it's a bit hazy. I don't know why that is. Let me fix one thing real quick. Did it make any difference? Hit it? I don't think so. I think it is what it is. It's can try with the charger. Oh. Trying to fix the quality. Oh, it's better. It is better. It's just that it's gonna make me blind at the same time. Yeah, it is better, right? Yeah, so let's do the lips. I have this Maybelline very old long lasting matte Overseer. The shade is Overseer 370. That's the shade. That is what I'm gonna use. But I'm gonna use a combination of things. I am gonna use this, that is again Maybelline's Creamy Matte Toasted Brown. I'm gonna use this first on eyelash. Then I'm gonna use a little bit as on cheeks. a little bit. I, yeah. I am done. This was my makeup look. So yeah, now let's chit chat. If you have any questions, otherwise I'm gonna talk about the things I feel passionately about. That is being a vegan and female rights is what I feel passionately about. So recently, when I was traveling to Malaysia, uh, not recently actually, it's been a year. Okay, I was in Malaysia and I went to this old monument that used to be like a castle where the nobles or the royalty used to live, and they have this. Uh, okay, I'll tell you exactly what place it was. It was in Penang, Georgetown, Malaysia. Have Penang. Penang, Georgetown, Malaysia. So, yeah, there was this mansion that I went to. Yeah, this is the mansion. The mansion is called Penang Peranakan Mansion. Um, okay, it's called Penang Peranakan Mansion, and the mansion looks something like this. Okay, and it's absolutely worth going there. Uh, because it has amazing tour, and the tour is in English and in Chinese or Malaysian language, whichever language they speak. um, what the things that they have on exhibits is quite like they haven't shy, like they are not shy to show the dark parts of the history, and means the heavy usage of opium that the royalty would have. The royalties used to use opium a lot to deal with diseases, and then many of them were kind of addicted to opium. Okay, and that's the royal lineage, and they haven't even shied down from showing how much the the royalty of that time suffered. So there was this one So there are many things on exhibit. Okay, there's this one thing that was on exhibit was like the shape of like a contoured, the foot of this female was contoured or like bent to fit in the shoe. So the royalty had to like mold the feet of a woman to the shape of the shoe that is made. So they are not making a shoe which is wearable, which is uh, which is easier for the female to wear, but they are making shoes. They are making the they are not making the shoe fit to the feet of a human being, but they are making the human being's feet fit to that shoe. And it's just thousand ways of cruelty that women faced in the past. So basically, I'll show you the picture. I'm trying to find more pictures about this. And the place is beautiful. The tours that they have, they explain all the rich history that is there. Now the pictures are not that appealing, and don't go by the pictures. The place is amazing. There is like a short tour that you can take. The place is amazing. Like, if you are in Malaysia, or if you plan to go to Malaysia, if you should definitely go to Penang. You should definitely go to Georgetown in Penang, and you should visit this mansion. This mansion is called Penang Peranakan Mansion, and the things that they have on exhibit there is amazing things. And there was this one particular this thing photo that they had, in which they had like the amount of we wear heels today, right? And heels are not the most, see, this is actually how beautiful it is. It's really really beautiful. And I loved it actually. I surprisingly liked Malaysia. I liked Singapore more than Vietnam. Um, though I found a couple of people who were rude towards me, and I found a couple of people who are definitely rude towards me, and I know how Indians behave in general. So I was kind of okay with it, them being rude, because I mean, if your fellow citizens behave badly when when they are out of the country, then you and I clearly look Indian, right? And so they're gonna assume that even you are going to behave badly. So you have to go that extra mile to prove your worth. So I was kind of okay with it, but it is a old this thing, and it has a lot of history to it. And the temperature was really nice. And I don't know, I really, it's so underrated, like, right? Like, Malaysia is so underrated. Like, I don't think anybody is now. People are going to Seoul, people are going to Korea, people are going to Japan, people are going to um, Singapore. Singapore, you can go and be there for like 2 or 3 days, and that's it. But Malaysia, I feel I could like spend weeks there, and I could see the whole of Malaysia, I could see the whole of Indonesia. And yeah, beautiful beautiful places. So I was just trying to find. I'm really looking for that one picture that I had. Anyways, doesn't matter. Let's try feet. Let's try. Ouch. Let's try feet and adjusted for feet adjusted for Oh, I got it, I got it, got it, I got it. Look at this, bro. So, the practice of binding and deforming girls' feet in China. It is a practice of binding. It is practice of binding and deforming a feet of, what is it called? Practice of binding and deforming girls' feet in China. So the structure of the shoe is like this, right? This is the structure of the shoe. Okay? And what are they doing is they are binding the feet. They are binding it. They are bending the feet. What just happened? Yeah, they are bending the feet. Okay, you have bones in every single toe of your feet. They are bending it to the structure of the shoe. Okay, look at that poor woman's feet. Just have a look. And today when we are wearing heels, I feel somehow we're propagating this, right? We're propagating this when we wear heels today. We are in some ways we are propagating this kind of behavior, and I was so surprised to see this. And that's the interesting part of visiting museums, right? Anywhere you go, if you go there, you're going there in the present. In 2026 you're going there, but if you actually want to see that place, what the past of that place was, of course you don't know what the future of that place is, but you for sure know what the past looked like. And that is all in, like, all of that is left in a museum for you to just go and see. Okay, fine, this is what the past of that place looked like. And it's interesting, it is really interesting. How cruel is this? How cruel is this? Look at that woman's feet. Just have a look. Have a look at the female's feet. This is what is human existence is all about. And only women used to do this. Cruel practice of foot binding in ancient China. And the woman that, I am damn sure it is still being carried out in some places, and I'm damn sure those women who lived through this are still alive to tell their stories. So today when we make footwear, so you know heels are the most uncomfortable thing for the feet, and we are still wearing it. So men have been making a woman's life difficult since since forever. Why are men not getting their foot binded? How cruel is this practice? Okay, let's read an article on this. The practice of binding and deforming girls' feet in China is known as lotus feet. Was historically a tradition aimed at altering their size and shape. The shoes designed for these feet are called lotus shoes. In imperial China, bound feet were a symbol of status and feminine beauty. However, this custom caused extreme pain, reduced mobility, and led to lifelong disabilities. It is believed to have originated in 10th century among court dancers and became popular among the elite during Song dynasty. Later during Qing dynasty it spread to lower social classes. So how amazing are the beauty standards? Despite the attempts of Manchu emperor to ban it in the 17th century, the tradition persisted, as all the cruel traditions in the world do. In some regions, having bound feet increased marriage prospects. So, if you are suffering, that is basically increases the chance of a man marrying you. Amazing, it is happening even today. They want to marry the most weak. No, women are not weak, but a girl who stands up for herself, they don't want to marry that. Then by 19th century, an estimated 40% to 50%. 19th century is like the last century. We are in 2000s right now, but many of us were born in 19th century. So this is not even 100 years old. So by the late 19th century movements. Okay, sorry, I missed. By the 19th century, an estimated 40% to 50% of Chinese women had bound feet. 40% to 50% of Chinese women had bound feet, and this is what a bound feet looks like. Okay, this is what a bound feet looks like. Look at that. Horrible. Then by 19th century, an estimated, okay, this is done, reaching nearly 100% among upper class Han women. So upper class, 100% of the upper class was doing this. By late 19th century, movement opposing the practice grew, but its decline only began in 20th century. So in 2000 is when they stopped actually doing it. They did it from 1600s till 1912. Nothing was questioned for 16, 17, 18, 19. So for 400 years, nobody even questioned it. It was in 19th century that people started questioning it, and then the change happened in 2000, in the 20th century. How amazing is that? Upper class and urban women were the first to abandon it, while it lasted longer in rural areas, as it does. It always the shittiest things. The poor will never come up with inefficient things. Like they will never invent things which are inefficient, but they might copy things that are inefficient from the upper classes. Okay, because they want to achieve that, right? They want to achieve that social status, they want to achieve that financial stability, they want to achieve that lifestyle, that standard of living. So they might want to achieve that. That is why they might mimic their actions, but the poor will never come up with, like they will not invent something which is inefficient. The upper class, The rich people are the ones who always invent something which is inefficient, and then the poor people, the middle classes, copy them, and these people will realize it and stop doing it. But you know, it is very difficult for the poor to stop some these miserable things, especially if it happens to a section of society which has been suffering in the past and is now trying to regain their power and is unable to do so. So the upper classes and the urban women were the first to abandon it while it lasted in the rural areas. By 2007, only few. 2007 is not even a decade ago. Okay? Only few elderly women in China still had bound feet. How disgusting is this? This I discovered when I went to that museum in Malaysia, that like this was something that happened in history. And we say, oh my god, why are women fighting for their rights? The more you travel, the more you see the world, you understand that how much of the things that you read in your history books are real, are actually happening. How many of you will literally see their evidences, like the historical past. You will literally see a monument that shows that this actually happened, like the colonization, how badly people were affected by the colonization, by the Britishers, by the French people who came and colonized. The reality, the evidences there, all of that is standing. All those architectures are standing. We have living proof of how much people have suffered because of colonization. There is a living proof of how much women have suffered in the past and till today are suffering. And I think that is very important. When you travel, you go and see for yourself how much of what is shown on the news, on social media, is actually the truth. You can go and see it for yourself. Nothing there is. Don't believe in anything that you read. Okay, the things that you studied, you believe in that. I do understand, but don't believe in anything that you see on social media. Go and see, check that for yourself. And so much of it, especially the suffering, if anything in history was recorded that these people suffered, chances are that those people did actually suffered, and rather suffered much more than what is recorded. Much more. You know, most of the suffering happens behind the doors, and it is not like the person who's suffering will not vocalize it for the longest of time. And when somebody comes and tells you that okay, fine, I'm suffering, that is when it has happened to that person fourth or fifth time, is when they come and report it. So you saying that there are false accusations, we don't need feminism, colonization, slavery, animal rights, all of that is so much recorded in history. And I'm always, people who travel for fun, and don't get traumatized when they travel, I really want to question their way of traveling, because the more I travel, the more I get traumatized. Because I actually am taking the effort to getting to know the places that I'm traveling to, right? I'm trying to know the history about the place. I'm trying to know how do the locals operate, what do the locals do. I'm trying to know what the country is doing presently, what happened in its history. And the history is so traumatizing. The way the locals are living is so shocking, jarring at times. Because if you go as a tourist to any place, you're only gonna see a very polished picture of that place. You're never gonna see the dark realities that the place has. For example, Mumbai, the place that I live in. People who come to Mumbai, they come, they see all the all the you know all the places that are actually curated for a tourist, and how clean that those parts of Mumbai are, how progressive those parts of Mumbai are, and all of that. But you don't take the time to visit the places. For example, places like, I know there is a tourism that is happening in Dharavi, and I'm not really, because the place people who are actually going there are not, they go there to validate themselves, to think, oh my god, my life is so much better than these people who are suffering. And yeah, so I'm not really for that. I want, I don't want, I don't want to put it in a, let's put the controversial thought out there. I don't want your travels to put you at ease. I want your travels to wake you up, to have, to give you a newer perspective towards looking at life. If your travels are relaxing, if all that your travels do, because the more you travel, the more you understand. Okay, I went to this aquarium in while I was in Singapore, and it was an amazing aquarium. But while I went to that aquarium, I had an amazing time there. I realized that what is a shark doing here? What is a jellyfish doing here? What is, what are all these beautiful fishes doing here? They are all captured. They are all captured, being made to live in a constrained environment, which is not naturally theirs, which is not meant for them naturally. Like it is not their natural environment, and it is for you guys to come and see. It is for humans. It has made the life of a human easy, that they can just go to a museum and look at fishes. Why do you have to look at fishes? If you want to look at fishes, go dive in a sea, learn how to dive deep and see the animal, be frightened by it, understand so much of biology. So much of your biology is not effective enough, is not fit enough for them, for, and how wonderful and fabulous they are, and how much strong they are in their own ecosystem. You go to their ecosystem, adjust your natural way of living to their ecosystem, and then without causing any harm to them, co co in a coexist in a way where we are living, we are coexisting in that kind of environment. You can actually be curious and have a look at them. But you creating an environment where you are not coexisting, you are making their lives miserable, you are capturing them. Why is a shark, why are 2 3 sharks in a museum, like, and then you are charging people, you're making money out of it? I'm like, that's disgusting. That is disgusting. And I never thought about it this way. It was only when I went to the museum, sorry, not the museum, to the aquarium, that it, I, not that I had read upon it somewhere and then I agreed with that thought or something like that. Of course, I had heard about all this, but when I went there by myself, saw those beautiful animals in captivity. First, though, it didn't strike me that they were in captivity, that they were captured and kept there. It was like, okay, fine, this is a concept. You, like the way words function, right? Aquarium. Aquarium is what? Where you keep fishes, the way we keep animals in the zoo. And we never question it. We never question it because we are born into it. And that just made me realize there are so many things that we are born into that are messed up. Like, I was born into a family that eats non-veg. I no longer eat animals. I no longer consume anything that comes from an animal. So, so I was born into this, right? Where I was supposed to be eating animals, and I love seafood. Used to love, like, that was my favorite. I never liked meat, but I loved eating seafood. But then I realized seafood is not seafood, it is sea animals, and those are being sacrificed. The animal's life is getting sacrificed for your taste buds, so that you get the most delicious, not delicious, disgustingly, is to satisfy your taste buds. They are made to live in an environment which which is which is which entertains you. I mean, it never struck me for like 28 years of my life. I never questioned that zoo is such a messed up concept, and aquarium is such a messed up concept. By then I knew that eating animals was, or consuming animal products and all of that, but never in it entered my mind that, oh my god, even this is messed up. I used to love going to zoos. I went on that same trip. I was traveling continuously for 2 months. On that same trip, I went to the zoo, and I love going to zoo everywhere. Like, I want to see the different flora and fauna. And then I realized that zoos have captured animals. Aquariums are also filled with captured animals. And so much of the structure that we have made is not made for living living things that are not cruel. Like, the whole system that we have made is made for someone who is cruel, who is wicked, who is selfish. It is not made for a living being who is who's who's kind, who just wants to live and do their thing and not disturb others, who who just wants to be peaceful. So it is not made for a peaceful living being, it is not made for a kind living being, it is not made for a emotionally intelligent being. It is made for beings which are just, हिंदी में बोलते हैं ना, नाली का कीड़ा, उसके लिए बना है. I don't know. It's just terrible. I hit 1 hour. I have no questions that have come up, so I would like to end this. I have other things to do. All those people who came in, subscribed, thank you. Thank you for being there. That's it. I have to get back to my work now. I have to go out, do my thing.